Welcome to Let's Find Out, the Arapahoe Libraries podcast. In this edition, music comes to life. You're going to hear from talented local musicians who take the stage to perform their songs and share their stories, inspirations, and emotions behind their lyrics. Whether you're a music lover, a songwriter, or just someone who loves a good story, this is your chance to go beyond the melody and into the heart of the music. So sit back, relax, and join us as we dive into an unforgettable experience of songs and storytelling.
To get up there and share a deep part of who you are. And, like I say, the story behind it. Some of the stories are just amazing. And it just makes for a really wonderful musical experience.
I love crowds. I love to perform. I think probably for this gig, is the intimacy of the room.
It's all we're gonna need.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Let's Find Out, Arapahoe Libraries podcast. Hear from authors, experts, and opinion leaders to spark ideas, solve problems, and enrich your life. In Arapahoe Libraries, we turn every search for knowledge into a helpful adventure.
When you go hear musicians around town, I would really ask you to do one thing. Get to know them and ask them to do one of their own songs. It'll blow them away, because most musicians, we get up there and you just want to hear covers. And we play everybody else's stuff but our own.
Sing me a melody, sing me a song, fill it with some harmony, fill it with your love. Not long after when I met you, my heart became a song.
How it all came about is a friend of mine who is a librarian who I've known since 5th grade here. We were talking about music, and when you go to bars a lot of times and hear music, very rarely do people play their own stuff. They usually play covers and stuff because nobody wants to hear our originals. But so she offered me the theater to try it out for a one-night deal back in 2016. So I gathered a few of my musician friends and we started this off, and it's basically to tell the stories behind these songs. And there's some great stories. Some not so much. Some are just over the years we did this from 2016 to 2020, and it's just an amazing night.
And this one was inspired by my husband, because we dated long distance. He's a pilot, so he's gone all the time, and it's called My Favorite Place.
Walking in the rain like the night we first met. When the wind blows and the tall grass sways, I love all of those things. There's nothing better than a blue sky like your eyes. When the full moon slowly rises, love laying out under the stars. But my favorite place is anywhere you are.
I'm a writer. I don't really play in a band. I only sing my own songs, and to get to share why I wrote them and with people that are interested in listening and not having to fight over a bar scene, it's a really cool thing you all are doing.
And the two people that are here tonight have never done this. So they don't know what it's like, and it's a very scary thing. Because the theater, you're right on top of people, you can see them, and they hear every nuance for the song. They don't miss anything.
I actually wrote my first song, which I'm actually going to sing tonight, in high school. My junior or senior in high school. It's called Lost Without You. It was my first poem I ever wrote. And I eventually turned that into a song a few years later, so I'll actually be performing that.
So this is the first song that I wrote ever, and it's also the first song that when I was recovering from my vocal injury last year that my vocal coach had me perform. Standing there, what now should I do? Yeah, lost without you. I remember you.
I have a question about the vocal injury. You sing very well.
Thank you.
I would never have known you had a vocal injury. Obviously you do. So are there notes that you can't hit, or do you feel like there's a different sound?
So, two things. One is you'll probably hear some notes tonight. It's my mid-range to right before I go into my voice, my head voice, before I go into my falsetto. Smell of your skin, I look in your eyes.
If you can touch one person and have one person be affected by something that you've gone through, or whether it be positive, sad, love, whatever it is, if you can change one person's life, I think that's the most important thing. So.
Next one, it's a sad one, but the idea came for me last summer when it was right after the rain, and I don't know what it was about the smell of the rain and the wet grass. Just brought back an old memory, and I was like, sometimes memories are so strong, like steel, you just can't get rid of them. And this song is called Rust. Smell the rain and wet grass mixed with summer in the air. Love don't play fair. Got my mom's old records playing, moving around the furniture 'cause it needs some rearranging. But something's needing changing. And damn, these memories are as strong as steel. Open all the windows and try to drown out this feeling, and I wish they'd all just blow away like dust. As easy as you lost my trust. All these tears and rain could wear the steel down to nothing. Down to nothing. I started writing songs when I was 6. I started playing piano at 4, and I think it was Beethoven had already written his first song by 4, so I remember saying, oh, I better get going, I'm 6, I'm already behind. So I've been writing my whole life.
Inspiration to write a song is everywhere. Sometimes it's just a phrase, a sunset, a person, all kinds of, we draw from so many things.
I was reading Homer's Odyssey, kind of a nerd. There was a part where it talked about the sirens and how they would sing, and the sailors would crash their boats up on the shore just to be with them. And you girls have been doing that for 3,000 years to us guys. All we want to do is hear you. So just take us to a nice sandy beach, though, instead of a rocky shore.
temptation towards a mystery, voice within the words, touched all of my senses. In the darkness you appeared. You're a siren in the distance, and the waves that carry me, but I'm tethered to my existence. I'm a sailor lost at sea, and you call me from the distance with the words that sing to me.
Somebody might grab onto this song for a particular reason. Somebody might grab onto this lyric in this particular song. And yeah, it's just, you can never control it, and it's always a beautiful thing.
Outside, don't wanna go anywhere. There's a lot of fire for that, and cool in the air, and six strings and a melody, and it's all we're gonna need.
Here's how to hear and learn more about these featured singer-songwriters. Rya Peck, that's R-Y-A, last name Peck, P-E-C-K. You can find her at ryapeck.hearnow.com. ryapeck.hearnow.com. Tyler Stanfield, he spells his name T-Y-L-E-R. Stanfield, that's S-T-A-N-F-I-E-L-D. Stanfield. So you can find him on tylerstanfield.com. And our host tonight was Tony Airozo. He's on Instagram. Look for him at Tony Airozo 2020. Tony spells his last name, by the way, A-I-R-O-Z-O. So Tony Airozo 2020 on Instagram. Libraries can be gold mines for singer-songwriters, way more than just quiet places with books. And no one knows that better than Tim Fritz. He is the multimedia librarian for Arapahoe Libraries. Let's bring him into the studio now. Hi, Tim. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about this whole idea of singer-songwriter and resources that you may have there at Arapahoe Libraries. What could people look forward to if they come into the library? They're wanting to learn more about singing and songwriting, about music.
Obviously, there's a myriad of resources patrons have access to in a library, but I would definitely point out some online resources we have, such as Hoopla, Canopy, and LinkedIn Learning. Those are the three primary resources that I typically suggest patrons look at, beyond just throwing a keyword into the catalog.
Okay. You mentioned Hoopla. What is that? How can that help an aspiring artist?
Well, Hoopla is a streaming service, so you can stream movies, you can stream music, but part of that is also coursework. And that particular platform offers various videos, tutorial type videos on learning guitar, learning to sing, learning ukulele, various types of instruments. So that's just one.
Yeah. Let's talk more about the courses, because that's intriguing to me that you could go to the library, sign up through this. Give me an example of a class you might take and how, if I'm walking into an Arapahoe Libraries facility, how I would access that.
Basically, go to our website and then go to our resources page, which then lists pretty much all the databases we own. And within there, you would find Hoopla, Canopy, or LinkedIn Learning.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless. You mentioned on your time. That's important. It's not as though a patron comes in and they're limited. If they have 30 minutes, great. If they're there for the whole afternoon, that's fine too. You're not limited in terms of how much time you can stay on that portal, right?
Right, exactly. And because you have created that account, that user account, you can go in for 5 minutes and leave and come back in a week and revisit, pick up where you left off, basically. So yeah, your time. So no stress.
Yeah, there you go.
Very low stress resource.
Yeah, we like that. We like that. How do you suppose these resources can kind of help bridge that gap for people who might not be able to maybe afford private lessons or, software that sometimes can be pretty expensive?
It allows people to access definitely resources that they otherwise might not be able to access due to economic realities.
Yeah.
So it helps to bridge access to creativity. Let's say
Yeah.
it allows you to express yourself without an economic hindrance.
Libraries today, Arapahoe libraries in particular, are pretty important incubators for local creativity, don't you think?
Absolutely, and I think that that's what they've always been striving for. They really listen to the community. They certainly pay attention to the latest and greatest things that uh, the community is using, and certainly includes what the community is looking to achieve as far as music, what the schools are offering, and we try to provide what we feel might not be available to everybody there.
Well, this has been fun, and it's thanks for your insight because I think a lot of people maybe don't understand that they go to the Arapahoe libraries and tap into this creativity. So let's find out more about music and songwriting. Tim, remind folks how they can learn more through Arapahoe libraries. What would you suggest?
I would suggest either coming into the library and accessing a public access computer and sitting down with our databases such as Canopy, Hoopla, and LinkedIn Learning, and seeing basically just exploring them and seeing what they can offer you as far as various courses on whatever you're looking to learn. Basically, I mean it's music and it's beyond. So anything you can think of, or it's all aspects of music that an aspiring musician would probably be interested in knowing about, because not only can you take the course, but you can typically take that to a place in the library and actually utilize it, implement it, such as like iMovie, GarageBand, and things like that. You can actually use our Mac computers to actually use those tools. So not just learn the tools, you can actually use them in the library as well.
Yeah, it'd be fun just to go in and explore. So, all right.
Absolutely, for sure.
All right. Tim, thank you again. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Let's Find Out, Arapahoe Libraries podcast. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and visit us online at arapahoelibraries.org.